So the first portion of Fidelity Agent 1 that I'll be covering is buyer monthly payment estimates. So this can be used obviously for interactions with your buyer. If you're out showing them houses, and for each of those properties that you show them, you want to show them what it would cost them each month to own that property. Or this is a really effective lead gen tool at open houses. So a lot of people might be coming into open houses and they might be new to the buying process. And you've probably heard, if you've done an open house before, how much will this house cost me each month? So Fidelity Agent 1 makes it really easy for you to give them really digestible and informative information of what it'll cost those people, but then also the ability to creatively get those people's contact information. And I'll show you how that works. So the first thing you're going to do within Fidelity Agent 1 is navigate to the buyer portion of the application. On the phone application, it's on the lower portion of the app. On the desktop version, it's all the upper tabs up here. So basically, the first thing you're going to do is enter in this particular buyer's information and their particular aspect of the buying process for them. So whether they're going to be doing a conventional loan, you can also click this drop down and select FHA or VA or all cash, but I'll leave this at conventional for now. And then enter in the house price. So for example, if you're working with a buyer and you're looking at a house that's $900,000, or you're sitting at an open house that's listed for $900,000, you're going to want to enter in that information. Then you enter in the down payment. So this can be obviously with your client you're working with. They might have an amount in mind in terms of a percentage they're going to be putting down, or you can have that conversation with that potential buyer at an open house. You can also switch it here, and instead of percentage, click the dollar amount and enter in $100,000. So someone might have a set dollar amount in mind in terms of how much they want to put down. But I'll leave it at 10% for now. It'll have a general market interest rate at the time. Same case, if your buyer already knows the interest rate they're pre-qualified for, you could enter in that there. So let's say, for example, they have a little bit of a lower interest rate they're working with. You can enter in other miscellaneous costs, hazard insurance, and taxes. These are, once again, kind of input data that Fidelity has. So for example, you can see the property tax data that is being used. You can also switch to different cities. So for example, if your buyer is looking at places in Long Beach, you can switch and have that property tax information from Long Beach. But let's assume that we're looking at houses in Los Angeles, in San Pedro, and we'll have that 1.221% property tax. If it's a condominium complex, you have the ability to enter in the monthly or annual HOA. The city transfer tax, so that's something important to put in as well. So click the drop down. Same thing, we're looking at homes in Los Angeles, so we're going to select, in San Pedro, so we're going to select Los Angeles as our city. And then you're going to hit compute. And then now from inputting this simple information, you're going to be able to tell either your client that you're actively showing houses to, or that potential buyer at an open house, what this house is going to cost them each month as a monthly payment, as well as what they need to bring to close to purchase this property. And what's nice too, say you're doing an open house and you want to find a way to get the contact information from these people that just walked in. You could generate one of these calculators. And what's nice on the phone application is if you just hold your finger down on these two circles here, just lightly hold it down, a pop-up will actually appear, giving you the option to simply text or email this information to those people. So you could have that conversation and say, here's actually what it'll cost you each month. And by the way, I can actually send this to you. And now you've just sent them something that has your personal branding on it, and you just got their phone number and email as well. But even better than that, Fidelity Agent 1, every single calculator within this application has the ability to be made into a really nice looking template with your branding on it that we put in the last video. So everywhere basically on the desktop version, if you click Share Print PDF, or if you click the share icon at the top right of the screen in the phone application, it's going to take this information and put it into a nice looking template. So basically it's going to give them the same information as that simple example we just looked at on the previous screen, but it's going to give them a little bit more detail into the closing costs, what they need to bring to close. And then like I said earlier, it's going to have your branding on it because we've entered in everything that we needed in the previous video talking about your own personal branding. But same thing, this can be easily texted or emailed to those potential clients at an open house. So same thing, you can click the share icon and text or email this to them. On the desktop, you only have the option to email it, or you can download it, give it to the buyer clients that you're working with. And they also have different template designs. So for example, I can click this template at the right of the screen here. It's going to give me the same exact information, just in a different design. Same thing with my branding. So another option that you could do is print out 25 of these before an open house and bring them with you. You also have the ability on the desktop version to select different colors, basically different color schemes that you might like for this. So a really nice way to have really helpful information for people that you're working with and try to find a way to capture some leads as well at open houses.